What's up, guys? So, people may have been thinking that we were done with a complete unknown there, but, surprise, we are not. So we're still in a complete unknown, and obviously, that means we're talking about Bob Dylan. And the fact that, yes, in the previous videos covering his relationships portrayed on the film, but in this one covering the artistic journey that is treated almost as if it were a coming-of-age tale. And again, I've said this in my previous videos, this is a biopic, it is an historical movie. We are only talking about the movie here. We are not seeking to or dunking on the real person who's still alive. And any debates about historical accuracy and all that kind of stuff, that's a different discussion. This is looking at just the lens in which the film is portraying these themes. And for that, in terms of being aspirational, like heck yes it is. Both in terms of kindling the talent, which is a step that all artists need to do in some way, but also the artistic evolution, even if that may upset some people. And I think even though, as a result of him evolving and starting new groups and trying out different things, it ends up alienating like a lot of his old people, and he ends up losing people as a result. When it comes to being an artist, you don't want to be, typecast in one lane. You don't want to be stuck just doing the same thing. You want to evolve with your art. That is something to aspire to do. I think that's true with regards to, educational metaphors. The feeling that you have to just choose a major and then just stick to that track is annoying in some way. Tinkering and experimenting with different avenues and ideas is fun and is what being a creative almost is all about. And that is something to aspire to. I say blue when it comes to this. However, it's said with a caveat, because in terms of, are these real steps that one can take? Kinda. But not 100%. It's I'm gonna give this a yellow, because even though the sort of evolutionary steps of, metaphorically networking through Pete Seeger or finding different avenues to experiment and then, committing to it once you do it, those are real steps that any creative or person in any career development can take. But both in real life and in the film, it is 100% established that Bob Dylan is a once-in-a-generation talent. And this is why, the counterexample of this movie, this is why I will, you know, readily say that Inside Llewyn Davis is one of my favorite movies because it is a portrayal of someone who isn't at that level of talent, is here, but not up there. And most people, even though a lot of movies like to show otherwise, most people are somewhere in this range. So you don't want to be inspired by Dylan in real life and the movie, but to try to be him is going to be hard to do. So take everything one sees in the film with a grain of salt in terms of like tangible steps that one can take in their own career, artistic or otherwise. Even though those steps can be long-term ones. When it comes to can this be a life? Yes, blue. Because the micro steps of that artistic revolution and finding varied groups and tinkering with your craft and still, because he does at the Newport at the very end, he still does honor the, where he came from, even though at that point he's committed to trying out new things. But like, you don't want to forget about where you came from, but an artist is always going to be evolving too. And I like that the film portrays different relationships that he has in all these different areas. He has, like, Guthrie, which is like the most past tense inspiration that he has. Pete Seeger, that is a past life. The sort of newer posse that he develops over the course of the film, and Cash, who's always advocating for him wanting to try out those new things. And like, those are different voices that both as an artist or as a career one can cultivate to continue to evolve. And as you evolve, some people are going to be upset and some people are going to celebrate it. But Dylan, in real life and the movie, does have the freedom to just do him because he is a once-in-a-generation talent. So, for those watching the film, some of those tangible steps in terms of the varied groups and committing to your art and evolving and all that kind of stuff, yeah, there's one stuff that one can take, like, as you evolve past college and beyond and early adulthood, middle adulthood. I'm a middle adult, can't really speculate as to what happens in late adulthood, but it seems like it's something one can do. But Dylan's also once in a generation talent. Those of us that may be one of the many may find themselves in an Inside Llewyn Davis scenario in which your options are not that level of broad. But either way, the message of evolving your art and both the good and the bad that comes with that is something that any artist, creative, or working human can take. So yeah, that is the debut of this side of this channel. There's going to be more of these because there's plenty of movies that have been out and are out that are more to do with coming of age than about relationships. So I'll be using this side of the review section to tackle those, and I'll be saving healthy, believable matters for relationships. So, yeah. More videos will be coming. That is the last video on The Complete Unknown. There's now 3 of them. But, hey, I like the movie and I felt like doing 3 videos. Hope you all enjoyed watching. See you all next time. Cheers.